Hello, we're going to talk a little bit about the Perfectly Posh pay plan. I know you've seen it a million times. It's in the back of your Posh paper, but when you're looking at it, it's really confusing. So hopefully I can clear some of that up for you. So when you join, you are a protege consultant. That means you are brand new. And until you sell $1,000 in lifetime volume, whether you do it in a week, a month, 6 months, whatever, you are a protege consultant and you are going to receive 20% commission on all of your orders. So the very first raise that you can get yourself is to sell that first $1,000 and then you hit pink. So this is you, and I put it in a little pink circle. So we're going to make you a pink consultant. Now, as you start to grow your team, that's where you're going to get those higher commissions on your personal volume, and you can earn commissions on your downline. So while it's completely optional, it is not required at all. It is a good way to make some extra money with Perfectly Posh. So, and we're going to talk about, here's how it works. So here's you, and let's say you get your very first recruit, and you are working towards Pink Plus One because you've already sold your $1,000, right? Even if you sign up and you recruit 100 people in your first month and they sell $200,000 worth, if you have not sold $1,000 to hit to pink, you will never promote anywhere. So you definitely want to try and get that first 1,000 out of the way as quickly as you can. And yes, you can recruit people as a protege. You do not have to be pink already to start recruiting. Okay, but for this intensive purpose, because you are pink right here, we're going to say that you're pink. Now you get your first recruit. So I'm going to put her over here just so I have room to draw a little bit later. And we'll call her Alice, so we'll give her an A. So in order to get Pink Plus One, which is going to be your next promotion after Pink, and at Pink Plus One you are going to get 26% commission on your personal sales, plus you can earn up to 2% on your downline, depending on what her rank is if she's a protege. But in order to get that, you need $2,000 team volume. So that's $2,000 between everyone on your team. You need $500 in personal sales, and you need at least one qualified frontline consultant. The qualified frontline consultant is someone that you personally enroll. So is Alice someone you personally enrolled? Oh, yes, she is. She's the line down to you. So she would need 200. You would need at least 500 in your personal sales to always 500, no matter what rank you are at Perfectly Posh. It's always $500 to earn your downline commission. So between the two of you, you would need $2,000. 200 of it at least needs to be from Alice, and at least 500 needs to be from you. You can do it with one recruit. You probably need a little bit more. So let's fast forward 2 or 3 months down the line. You're still working towards this, and you've recruited 2 more people, actually, just to give myself some space a little bit later. We'll call her Beverly, and we'll say Claire. But Alice has been doing this for a while now with you, and let's say that she has 2 recruits now as well. I'm just going to number them at this point. So you're still working towards Pink Plus One. Now again, $2,000 between all of you. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because your volume does count towards your team volume, so you can count yourself. So now you've got 6 people. That makes it a little more realistic, right? You need at least one of these front lines. The front lines are the ones that come from you. You need at least one of them to have $200 in sales to be qualified. You still need your 500 personal. But these guys are going to help you out too. They still count on your team. It doesn't matter how deep down they go, just as long as they're still on your team. So that's going to be Pink Plus One. You're going to get 26% on your personal, and then up to 2% on theirs. It's going to depend on their rank. Let's say Alice is now a Pink Plus One between the 3 of them. So when you're looking at your commission, we'll say she's a Pink Plus One, and we'll say these are proteges because they're newer with you. So you're going to look at the pay plan. I have one down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm referencing it. So at Pink Plus One, you are going to have 26% on your personal sales. You are going to get 2% on your proteges. So for each of these, you would get 2% on their total volume. And Alice is a Pink Plus One. So we're going to look over, and you're going to get 1% on Alice's team. And let's say next month, your team still looks exactly like this. Nobody's added, nothing's new. Let's say next month Alice doesn't hit the 2,000 team volume between the 3 of them. They don't hit that for Pink Plus One. She qualifies which she needs, you have to be at least a pink +1 to earn commission on your downline. She doesn't qualify for it, so she's not going to earn commission on her downline. You can still. You're just only going to be paid on them still as a pink +1, not on her as a pink. It's always going to be the highest rank that they've ever achieved when you're looking at your downline commission and you're trying to sort that out. So at this point, pink +1 for her is what you're going to be paid on as. Okay, so now your next rank is going to be pink +2 that you're working towards. So still at pink +2, your personal sales have to be 500. That does not change. Now for pink +2, you need 2 qualified front lines. So you're going to need 2 of these ladies, and your entire team volume is going to be 4,000 is what you're going to need. Let's fast forward another couple months, and let's say you've added 2 more, and they're adding, because hopefully that's what we want to see, right? And this is completely, you know, how your team looks might be completely different than how somebody else's team looks, and you might have legs that grow a lot faster and a lot stronger. So this looks pretty, I think you could definitely do 4,000 team volume with this many people. So you need at least 2 of your front lines, those are the ones directly to you, need to qualify. So $200, you still need your 500, and all of you on your team together need to be 4,000. Okay? Look it up to pink +3 now, and these ladies are probably promoting on up the rank at the same time you are. We'll make them pinks, the ones with the bigger teams here. Okay, so you're pink +2, and now you're working towards pink +3, and this is why I should have started out a little bit smaller. But you can see you want to always be growing your downline. You always want to be growing your front line, because remember Andrew's gang sign rule for Posh is like this. For every 5 recruits you get on your team, 1 is going to be a kidnapper, 3 are going to be part-timers. They're going to show up every 2 or 3 months or so and put in a party order, put in a small order. You're going to have 1 person that's really like, this is awesome, I'm really going to do this, and give it a really hard run. And then we have the terminations that occur in June and December, and you're going to have fall-offs on your team. So you want to constantly be building and trying to keep that momentum and keep it going forward so that you can always be moving forward. So now we're going towards pink +3, and if you're looking at pink +3, then you realize that you need $500 in personal volume, you need 3 qualified front lines, so it's good that you're adding a big wide front line here, and you need 8,000 between everybody. So we'll say, you know, just drawing some examples out, your team is growing like this. You've got some legs that are growing a little bit deeper. Some of them might be growing a little bit wider. Some of them might just be hanging out and they're content to be right there, and that's fine. You'll have your consultants that do that. You'll have those on your team. That's why it's important to grow as wide as you can. So for pink +3, and I think this is definitely enough members on the team, you could do that. So 8,000 between everybody, right? 500 for you, 3 qualified front lines, so 3 at $200, and 8,000 for a total of everybody. Once you start looking at Premier is when it gets a little bit trickier, but for you, it's going to stay pretty simple. So you've got more front lines here. You've been recruiting really hard. You're doing a good job. You're going for Premier. You know you want that title. As of right now, I think only about 150 people in the entire company have ever hit that rank, so definitely lots of room at the top for you to get there, so I encourage you to always be working for it. It does have its advantages, and it's a fun title to have, and it's kind of cool to be like, wow, I did something pretty amazing, and it's a really good feeling. So here's your team. You can see lots of ladies have been working hard. You're doing a good job of inspiring them and leading them. Okay, so you need 4 qualified front lines. And 4 qualified front lines is what you're going to need for Premier, Silver Premier, Gold Premier, Platinum Premier. You're always going to need 4. Andrew recommended at Day Away last fall that you strive to have at least 10 front lines so you can get 4 of them qualified. I would strive to have more than 10 front line. Here in this, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So try and build a little bit wider. I know my board's kind of running out of room. Okay, so 4 qualified front lines, $500 in personal sales for you, always 500, remember, and $20,000 between your entire team. That's a really big change from the $8,000 at Pink Plus 3, so don't get discouraged if you're Pink Plus 3 for a while, because that's the biggest leap anywhere in the pay plan. So keep at it, you can do it. So we're going to fast forward a couple months, and now this is where people get a little bit tricky. Look at this. See, look at Claire here. She has been a recruiting machine. Her downline is recruiting. Look at that. Claire is probably going to hit that premier soon, right? Look at how fast her team is multiplying. So this is what happens when you have someone in your downline promote to premier. So we're going to make Claire premier just because it's easy and she's right here in the middle. And I'm going to circle hers so we can look at that by itself. In order to be a silver premier, you need one first generation premier in your downline. Your first generation is not necessarily someone that you directly recruit. It is whatever person is in that leg that promotes to premier that is the closest to you. So Claire is a direct recruit here in this. She is going to be your first generation. So she is no longer going to count in your team volume when you are looking at everything and doing your math and figuring out your numbers. Claire is still very much a part of your team. She shifts over from team to company. And this is where that difference comes in. So when you're looking at your volumes that you need for Silver Premier, you need 500 personal, doesn't change, 4 qualified front lines, still the same, but you've lost a front line now because she broke off, right? So that's why you always want to be adding. But you need $6,000 in team volume after the breakaway. So she's still going to count toward your company volume. For Silver Premier, your company volume needs to be $30,000. So she still counts for your company volume, but your team volume. So you need $6,000 between Alice's team, Beverly's team, these other teams I didn't name here, D, E, F, G, and those other ones. So that's why you always want to be constantly adding, because people are going to start breaking off and they're going to be their own little team leaders. They're still going to count towards your company volume. They're still very, very important. We never kick anyone out. They're still around. But she's going to be growing. Now let's say her leg here, number 1, goes premier as well. Number 1 here becomes your second generation premier because she is second in line in this leg, right? Claire is your first generation. Number 2 is going to be your second generation. You don't get paid on your second generations until you hit gold premier. How to hit gold premier? You need 2 legs in your team to become premier, right? So you're still adding people. I'm kind of out of space here to keep adding them. They're growing their teams. All of these are still multiplying. Once you get, let's say Alice's team here, because I've got the most room. So we'll say Alice's team hits premier. So she's a premier now, so I'll draw a little circle around hers. So now you've got Alice and Claire as your premier legs. Now you need $12,000 in volume coming from Beverly's team, D, E, F, G, all these other ones. So you always need to be looking at that and thinking about it. Now you've lost another front line again, so hopefully you've still been consistently adding to your front lines. But I hope this clears up the pay plan for you a little bit. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I always keep one printed off, and I usually have it mounted on the desk behind me. I reference it all the time. Just remember, when you're looking at something and you're trying to figure out your commissions, the highest rank that person has achieved, let's say Beverly here, she's a Pink Plus 3, but a couple of her people maybe fallen off from terminations. So she's really only been hitting Pink Plus 2 numbers. When you're figuring out your commission, you're going to say, okay, I am now a Gold Premier. She's a Pink Plus 3. How much am I going to make on that? You're going to go down to your little pay plan. You're going to see, oh, Gold Premier, and you're going to move over to the Pink Plus 3. Even though she's only getting paid as a Pink Plus 2 herself, her highest title is a Pink Plus 3. So Gold Premier gets paid 2% on a Pink Plus 3. So you'll look, say, oh, Beverly's volume is $6,000. You'll get 2% of that times 0.02. And that's how you're going to figure it out. You always look at your front lines, take their entire team volume, and multiply it by the percentage on the chart based on the highest rank they ever were and what rank you're currently getting paid at. You're looking at it at the beginning and you're like, 1%, 2%, these are small. Why is this even worth it?